didn't put that in there, did I?
Call the meeting to order. Would everyone please rise and salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have roll call?
Counselor Pierce?
Here.
Counselor Warner?
Here.
Counselor Hartranft?
Here.
Counselor McCormick?
Here.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Present. Okay. Resolution number 9653, move that the minutes of February 9th, 1996 regular meeting having been held and be approved without reading.
I'll second it. Aye. Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 9654A, transfer of funds. Move that the supervisor be authorized to transfer funds from accounts SW8340.4, transmission and distribution of $500, SW8310.4, administration $300, and SW8320.4, source of power and plumbing $606.64, total of $1,406.64. And that where does he got? Where you got? Oh, down here it's going to go into DA 5110.4, general repairs and contingency. DA 201 highway savings $103,464.77, and for A3510.4 dog control $317.80, a total of $105,189.29. To go into boy, we got the H201 machine savings $103,464, and DA 5130.4 machinery account to a total of $105,189.29. And from A3510.2 equipment dog control $941.90, and A3510.4 contractual dog control $2970.79, to a total of $3,885.69 to account TA85. Now this was money left over from 94-95 in the dog control that is going to be put into an account in the future to replace the truck if needed. I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
And Resolution 9654B, special account for dog control truck. I move to authorize the supervisor to open a special savings account for a dog control truck with the money in TA 85.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-55, payment of bills. Move that vouchers 55-100 in the amount of $30,991.16 in general fund, and voucher number 46-75 in the amount of $25,527.96 highway fund, having been audited, be paid by the supervisor from the funds available.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye. Do we have any communications? I have none. Does anyone else have any? Okay, we'll move right on to committee reports. The assessor's report. He's not here, right? Code enforcement.
For the month of February, we issued one house permit for $160, one garage permit for $50, one miscellaneous permit for $50, for a total of 3 permits and $260 total for the month. Under inspections, we did 3 new construction inspections, 3 fire safety inspections, 1 housing complaint, and 8 zoning inspections. Under violations issued, there was 1 zoning violation notice issued for too many trailers on 1 lot. That case is still open. 1 zoning and building code violation notice issued for doing electrical work without a permit. That case has been closed. And 1 violation notice issued for installing a manufactured home without a permit. That case is still open. Thank you.
Planning.
Regular meeting of the planning board was held this past Monday, March 11th at 7 p.m. All members were present and routine business of the board was completed. At this time, there are no pending applications before the board. The board did pass a resolution recommending to the town board adoption of the recommendations that have been made by the zoning update committee. In particular, recommendations regarding the handling of special use permits and abandonment of non-conforming uses. The board unanimously supported adoption of these recommendations. The next meeting of the planning board will be held on Monday, April 8th at 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
Dog control.
I received 91 calls or complaints. We adopted 4 dogs out. We had 3 dogs that were redeemed. No dogs that were euthanized. There's 8 dogs at the kennel this month. There's still 1 dog at the present time at the kennel. 5 dogs reported lost, 4 dog bites. We traveled 950 miles. I worked with a conservation officer. We had 5 dogs. 2 dogs we couldn't catch at the time were destroyed. We kept 3 dogs, having somebody claim them. Of course, they didn't. And against my judgment, the dogs were adopted back out to Tree Steering Unit as far as I'm concerned.
Zoning.
Barb Foster is homesick, but she did call me to, I was at her meeting last night and Lauren Knapp had a application for a use variance, and that did pass unanimously on their board last night. Other than that, they had no new business.
Recreation? I don't believe she's here tonight either.
The report, if you want. 30 children attended the ice skating party during the February break, and she said thank you to the Syracuse Stars for giving us a break on the cost of the ice rental. And 50 children and adults attended the magic show by the Twin Magicians. All the children who attended received a balloon animal. It was a great show. The upcoming events is Easter egg decorating March 30th, Saturday at the Town Hall from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then she's going to have country line dancing sometime in April. No official date is set yet. And that's submitted by Sue Royak.
Historian?
Purchased 3 volumes of Doodles Echo Across the Valley that were written by David K. Parsons and edited by his wife Marie of Sandy Creek. And they've been purchased for the office. They, as well as other publications, are very helpful in compiling as accurate as possible, after 130 years, all the volunteers for our records. The attendance at the Civil War 147th group grows every meeting, and with more people, more information. I received a packet from the office and also had monitored the appointed historians in the municipalities around the state. I have never seen this form before, but I will be filling it out and returning it to them shortly.
Okay. Highway report?
17 days plowing and sanding, 19 days machine repair, 5 days coal patching, 2 days hauling ice control sand. The payroll for February 1996, $31,864.71. Supplies and repair bills, $25,527.96. The total expenditures for February, $57,392.67, and that's submitted by Bob Kerfine, Highway Superintendent.
Okay, do we have any old business? Dominic?
Okay, my name is Dominic Clavelli. I live on Kingdom Road. Okay, this has to do with what I requested on the previous administration. First of all, I'd like to present an illustration before I go into what I want to do, or would like to do. Maybe some of you have heard about it, maybe some of you haven't. There was a young couple that just got married, and they wanted an old-fashioned honeymoon. So they decided to take a horse and buggy. And if somebody's heard it, don't stop me. So what happened is, the bride and groom got in the horse and buggy, or on the buggy, started going down the road. Well, the horse decided to drop down a little bit. The new groom, he got out, helped the horse up. He got back in the buggy, and away they went. Went down the road a little bit. Horse decides to down again. So the groom got out, got onto the horse, picked them up, and they went on. They get to the place where they're going to have their honeymoon. They drive into the driveway, and all of a sudden the horse went down again. So he got out, the groom got out again, looked at the horse, reached in his vest, he shot him. So the new bride said to the groom, "What'd you do that for?" He said, "That's one." Okay, now my point, that's just an illustration of what I want to do here. I requested from the previous administration to help me slow that traffic down on Kingdom Road. We went to the DOT, I filed a petition, DOT come back and said it's 45 is good enough. Well, 45 is not good enough. We still have 47 kids that ride the school bus. We have about 19 kids that are still home. And like I told Mr. Kerping, there's tractor trailers coming down there now. And he said they're going to put up the signs, so there'll be no heavy trucks coming down there. That's good. But I've got to be able to slow that traffic down for these kids. I don't care for myself. The kids are my future. The kids are your future. And I'm asking the town board right now to get to DOT or whoever. Have them look at that traffic again. Because they're still coming down there well over 45. The guy that runs the logging truck almost hit Gordy Bellinger. Almost. I don't know how close, but probably a foot and a half. My wife and I walked down Kingdom Road. And we walked back. And the cars are coming down there so fast that they'll make your hair stand right on end. That's one point. The other point is I requested from the DOT to put speed signs down on the far end, which is about 3/10 of a mile by County Route 45. So far, they haven't approached me. I don't know if they approached the town board. Have they approached the town board? I'm asking.
Is your road currently posted at 45?
Right now, it's posted, on my end, it's posted at 45. I'm talking about beyond my house. It's still
The north
posted at
end of it?
55.
The north end of it, you mean?
Right.
Okay.
I think, Barb, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the DOT approved reducing from 45, and they said to County Route 57, which was approximately 2 miles, all the way 45 miles per hour. I thought we got a response on that.
No, they refused that north end.
Well, I gotta go through my paperwork, but I thought I'd just come across something that said that they,
3/10 of a mile is not 45, 55.
well, I'm gonna look through my paperwork, because I thought we got something back, said that to lower it to 45.
I got the order to put up a 45 mile an hour sign, except for 3/10 of a mile on the north end.
Well, then we can resubmit the petition.
I've already contacted them, and I haven't heard a thing.
The town, the way it goes, the town board has to submit it to the county submits
I
it to
know,
the state.
I've gone through it, Jeff.
Well, you, see, the town board has to submit it. That's-
Okay, well, I'm requesting it to be done again.
We'll do it,
Okay,
as far as
now.
I'm concerned.
Okay? The next problem is 45 Kingdom Road, the little Z turn light,
Yeah?
okay? Can we do something about that? Reason being, I just gave you an illustration. Okay, once, twice, 3 times, that's it. I stopped at the stop sign in front of Fadden's house, proceeded probably 15, 20 miles an hour beyond that point, and right there, the eastbound side of 45, coming from Fern Parsons Way, okay? They can't see me, and I almost got broadsided. That's twice. The third time, it's not gonna happen. Somehow or another, either I put a mirror up there so that they can see people coming in, or coming from the other direction or something. You guys gotta do something before either I get hit or somebody else gets hit. This is old business.
It's old business in County Road. Bob, who's that gotta come from the town board to ask something about the trees, or from you?
They've been approached and approached and approached about it. The landowner don't want it touched.
Yeah, county right away?
I have no idea.
Well, they're the ones that have to decide.
It's out of my hand, that's in the county.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm requesting from you people to get on somebody's back. They can see the people coming from Oswego, but they can't see the people coming from Fulton. I mean, I'm using that for an illustration.
He thinks it's bad in a car or truck, you gotta get in the snowplow and try to plow it.
Well, there again. I mean, we have OSHA rules for them guys, you know? They have to adhere by the rules. And those people coming from the east bound, or westbound on the east side there, 45, they don't even stop at that stupid sign. And I've contacted the sheriff's department, I contacted the state police, nobody wants to do anything. I don't know whose job it is. But if necessary, I will do it. I will put something on the road to slow them down, and I will do something with that intersection over there. That's not only a threat, it's a promise. Like I said, I got 47 kids that ride the school bus. And there's approximately 19 kids in the, that play in the yards. Now, if this makes a point, good. If it doesn't, then we'll take alternative measures.
We'll get the petition out again, Dominic, and resubmit it, and ask them to act on it.
Because we gotta do something. Thank you.
I mean, I have no problem with resubmitting a petition.
Because I got a letter and he said they're gonna be investigating. Well, investigating nothing. They haven't done anything.
Any other old business? New business?
Can I jump in here? Yesterday, I attended a meeting with the NBA, the Neighborhood Based Alliance Group, and they're kicking off Pride in Your Community Weeks on May 11th through May 27th, and what they're asking is everybody to take pride in your establishment, your homes, your businesses, clean up your yards, paint or whatever you can do, and they're asking everybody from the Granby, Fulton, and V0lney communities to pitch in and do this. So we'll probably be talking more about it next month. If anybody needs any help, they do have some work crews that will be available, but you need to put an application in to get them to come to your house. Somebody that might be an invalid and can't clean up their yards. So you can see me, and I'll give you the phone number of the person if anybody's interested. And new business. This was new for me. Last week I got to go snow plowing with our highway department. Clyde drove, and he let me operate the wing. And I don't think any of us can appreciate what these gentlemen do at night while we're sleeping until you get in one of those trucks and what they have to go through and watch for. And it was a very unique experience, and I thank them very much for letting me go. Thanks, Clyde. And we only took down 12 mailboxes, so if it's your mailbox, see Clyde. Oh, I was being careful.
As long as you didn't hit my truck, that's all I care about.
Was it your truck we hit? I'm sorry.
Any other new business? Jerry?
I think Barb brought it up last year, and I got turned down, I don't know, I'd like to bring it up again about adopting the highway. Does anybody get certain sections of it, or how much? I think you brought it up, didn't you, one time, Barb?
Yes, I did, and I worked on it, and I did get quite a good response from it. And then I talked to the state about it, and they said that we probably couldn't afford the insurance that we would have to pay if somebody was out on the highway and got injured. The county could, but we couldn't. You know, on county highways, they do have adopt-a-highway crews that do work there, but the town just couldn't.
State does.
State does, okay.
I just
State.
didn't remember where it ended up at.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed too, but that's the way it is.
Karen?
Parsons at Mount Pleasant, there's a lot of us that get out and walk in our area, and we don't really officially adopt the highways. but we take a plastic bag along with us, and I think quite a few people, I think there's many kept from opening their car window and flinging things out as they are walking and trying to help keep the neighborhood clean. We'd make out all right. I don't know, sometimes I feel very unchristian-like and would like to take everything that I pick up and dump on somebody's yard after I've seen them go by and the papers flutter as their car goes, and there weren't any papers there before, but now I'll probably be blamed for litter on somebody's yard if they got a guilty conscience. But I wish they would remember that somebody has to get out there and clean that up, and they must have a trash bag that they could put in their car and dump it in their own trash when they get home.
Any other new business? Okay, we'll go into resolutions. Resolution 9656, agreement to spend highway funds. Whereas the amount of $302,376 was budgeted under highway appropriations account number DA 5110.1 and 5110.4, titled General Repairs and Agreement to Spend Highway Funds between the Town of V0lney and County of Oswego must be entered into therefore. Move that pursuant to the provisions of Section 284 of the Highway Laws, money levied and collected for the repair and improvements of highways in the amount of $302,376 may be extended for general repairs upon 62.66 miles of town highways, including sluices, culverts, and bridges having a span of less than 5 feet, and boardwalks or the renewal thereof.
I'll second it then.
Is there any discussion on that?
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Hartraff?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-57, posting of roads. Move to authorize the town clerk to publish the posting of the town of V0lney roads. Notice is hereby given pursuant to Article 41, Section 1660, subsection 11 of the State Vehicle and Traffic Law that the following roads are temporarily closed to any vehicle with a gross load in excess of 2 tons per axle, except for local deliveries. This restriction to take effect immediately upon publication in the official town newspaper and posting of the roads, and shall remain in effect until May 1st, 1996. Town roads affected by the above order are as follows, and I'm not going to read them all. There's quite a few, and they're going to be posted in the newspaper, and you can also get copies of this if anybody's interested.
I second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartraff?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-58, Fireman's Contract. Move that the contract dated March 14th, 1996, contracts on file between the Town Board of the Town of V0lney and the V0lney Volunteer Fire Corporation to provide fire protection service to the Town of V0lney Fire Protection District from January 1st, 1996 and to end on December 31st, 1996 for the sum of $190,000 be approved and executed on this date.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Mr. Hartraff?
Aye.
Mr. McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye. Resolution 9659, Crosby Hill Junkyard Renewal. Move to renew the junkyard license for Crosby Hill Recycling for the year of 1996 at a cost of $150, and after inspection and approval by the Code Enforcement Officer.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 9660, authorization to schedule public hearing for special use permits. Move to authorize the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing concerning special use permits relative to changing it from the ZBA to planning board jurisdiction per town law 274-B, and move related text to appropriate sections. V0lney change zoning board of appeals to planning board where X equals special use permit. V036 section E, special use permit, change zoning board of appeals to planning board. Z036 section E, where the change from ZBA to planning board should be moved to Z031 under administration and make it B1. 9660B, definition of special use permit. Definition of special use permit shall be incorporated into definitions based on state regulations 284-B, shall mean an authorization of a particular land use which is permitted in a zoning ordinance or local law, subject to conditions imposed by such zoning ordinance or local law, and will not adversely affect the neighborhood if such conditions are met. I move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-61, authorization to schedule a public hearing for non-conforming uses. Move to authorize the town clerk to advertise a public hearing concerning non-conforming uses. 96-61A, at the end of C, extension, alteration, restoration under Z029, such restoration will start within 1 year of destruction or damage. Also create C1 under Z029, abandonment, when a non-conforming building or use has been abandoned for a period exceeding 12 months or shall not thereafter be reestablished. 9661-B, definitions of abandonment. 1, the intent of the owner to discontinue the use is apparent in such as disconnection of utilities or removal of building fixtures needed for use, or 2, the active operation of the use has ceased, excluding short-term interruptions during periods of remodeling, maintaining or otherwise improving and rearranging a facility, or during normal period of vacation or seasonal closure during the settlement of an estate. If a use is non-conforming and interruption as listed above shall exceed a period of 12 months, owner shall inform the code enforcement officer in writing of his intention to establish such use, or 3, the non-conforming use has been replaced by a conforming use, or 4, the non-conforming use has been changed to another use under permit from zoning board of appeals, or 5, the building is not occupied for a period of 1 year, or 6, the building is not occupied. An attempt is being made to sell the facilities as a non-conforming use for signage on the site. Such attempt has exceeded 1 year and the building is not being actively maintained and has fallen into a state of physical disrepair. I move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-62, hire Oswego County Appraisal Service. Move to hire Oswego County Appraisal Service Limited to appraise the Great Bear property. The appraisal is to be according to New York State specs. The appraisal will not exceed $500. I just want to explain that in order to receive our grant money on this property, it is a requirement that we have the appraisal, and that's why we're doing it even as though it's after the fact that we've purchased the property. So I move it.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood?
Aye.
Resolution 96-63, tax collector to keep and deposit the petty cash from year to year. Move to allow the tax collector to keep on deposit the $200 petty cash in order to keep the account open from year to year. At the end of each year, all interest earned will be turned over to the supervisor.
I'll second it.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartranft?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood.
Aye.
Resolution 64, 9664, there's no resubmit names to Solid Waste Management Board. Move to resubmit the names of Christine Rose and Colin Scott to the Solid Waste Management Board for consideration for the vacancy that was created in '95. I'll move it.
Second.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartwell?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood.
Aye.
Resolution 96-65, advertise for people to serve on Solid Waste Management Board. Move to authorize the town clerk to advertise for people to fill the current opening on the Solid Waste Management Board. Anyone interested is asked to submit a letter to the town board explaining why they are interested in serving on the Solid Waste Management Board. Please submit your letter by April 9th, 1996.
Second it.
And I just want to say one thing about the last resolution. They were asked for names before for 2 names, and we gave 2 names to the county for them to choose one of the 2 to be on the Waste Management Board. And they didn't, we don't know if they didn't like the names or whatever, but they didn't choose from either one. They came back to us and asked us to give them 4 names, and they would pick 2. Well, we gave them 2, and they're gonna pick one from those 2, and we're gonna now submit. What we're doing here is we're gonna ask people to, if they're interested, and we'll pick 2 more, and they can pick one of those 2. That's why we have the 2 resolutions, so.
Counselor Pierce?
Aye.
Counselor Warner?
Aye.
Counselor Hartwell?
Aye.
Counselor McCormick?
Aye.
Supervisor Lockwood.
Aye. Do we have any petitions? Okay, we'll go into a public comment, but before we start that, I'd like to introduce our county legislator here. He's with us here again tonight, so both of them, Clyde Osborne and Ray Chesbro. Didn't mean to leave you out.
Before we go to public comment, I think we ought to resubmit the petition on the Kingdom Road to the county and have it go to the state on the speed limit. Just so it's on record that we are gonna submit this petition again.
Okay, you got something written up there?
Well, no, Barb's got the petition. All we're doing is ask to resubmit it.
Okay.
Because you said petition, so I'm just asking for that petition to be resubmitted.
Okay, now we'll go into public comment. Yes.
My name's Alan Kessler. I live on County Route 45. I see that you're going to have legislator hours. Does that mean you're not coming here anymore, or?
Next month, we will not be here on the meeting night because it is one of the months that the county meeting will be held at 7 p.m.
Oh, I see.
But we're going to try to be here as often as possible. But we are going to try some hours, the second Tuesday of each month from 7 to 9. And, you know, be here and listen to comments and discuss and be available.
You might be able to answer this question as well as the board is have you had any notification that the incinerator out here is going to require some action is going to be required concerning that incinerator, either updated or downgraded or whatever? Did you get anything to that effect?
Well, we'd heard discussion before that they were gonna, I think somebody said spend $3 million to upgrade it or something like this.
Who makes that decision? The county?
County with the state.
But nothing for sure.
Nothing for sure yet. They're still waiting on, I guess, from what I understand, for the DEC to give the proposal, so we're not doing it once and then turning around, they change their mind and do it again to a different spec. So that's where it stands as far as I know.
Thank you. One other thing, I don't want to drag this out, but you're the Roma control officer, you know that. You're the one to answer whether rumors are true or false. Are there any secret negotiations going on with the city of Fulton regarding the annexation
No,
that were not made public?
no,
Have there been any since you've been this?
not that I know of. Not secret ones.
Well, something went on at the county last week, but that's another story altogether. Thank you.
Anyone else? Jerry?
I just wanted to announce that we're doing the enumeration and census, and we've probably been to about 300 homes so far. And the dog license, we're only running about 25% that are licensed. They can be up to a $25 fine for every dog that's not licensed, so wish the people would hurry up and get them licensed before I come through the door. It'd be a lot easier for me to, I guess.
Cheaper for them.
Fern?
Just one thing, I forgot to mention that there's another meeting of the group for the 147th next Thursday on the 21st.
That's at V0lney
At
School?
V0lney School? Anyone else? Do we have any other announcements? One was just announced, we could read it again, that legislators will be having some evening hours here. And that's gonna start that April 9th, right? And be in the conference room at the other end. That's your conference room, right? And the DA night's been changed to the first Monday of each month, starting April 1st. And
Clyde, will both you and Ray be holding hours together?
Yes.
Okay, so that, because people from V0lney have two legislators, they need to know they can reach both of you. Okay.
It will be, Bart said you were gonna put up the paper, I'm gonna do it. Ray and I are gonna do what people want.
okay, on your sheets there, you've got March 19th at 7 p.m. as a zoning update meeting. Well, that meeting has been canceled, and we'll be putting another one in some other time. We don't have a definite date on that yet, but there will be a work session that night, so we're for the town board. On April 9th, there's a bill signing agenda, and on the 11th would be our next regular town meeting. Anyone else have anything to say before we adjourn?
I have a question to the legislators. You met this afternoon and there was a lot of things brought forward on that Task Force 2000. Can you enlighten us on some of that, please?
Okay, you asked about the Task Force 2000. The town clerk will, if she doesn't already have a report, have their report. There will also be a report in each library, the town or the city library, towns. If there's a town library, there'll be a report in that library. Each town and village clerk will have a copy of the report. I'll go over briefly some of the things that it said. It said that the county should adopt a mission, a goal, a long-range plan. They recommended that the county go to a county exec type of government. They recommended reducing the present 12 committees to 7 committees. At the present time, there's about a 80 person, what do I want to say, not rollover, but each year 80 people change, 80 employees change. There's a turnover of 80 employees. They recommend that in 5 years, they reduce the number of employees, full and part-time, to 800 or 900 employees. At the present time, there's, I think, around 1,200 full-time employees and maybe a couple or 300 part-time employees. They also found that there was about 5 employees to 1 supervisor. They recommended that be changed to 12 to 15 employees to 1 supervisor. And that they have a department head, a supervisor, and then the workforce. They recommend that they go from 26 departments that are presently there to 10 departments. And it will show in the report what 10 departments they recommend and which one they include to consolidate. They would estimate that if they made that amount of cutback in employees, there should be, by their guesstimate, $15 to $20 million reduction in operating expenses per year after 3 to 5 years. They propose that they improve the budget practices, the way the budget's put together. They recommend that they do better cost accounting systems. As an example, they could not find a definite cost per department in some areas. Maybe there's a in-kind service type of thing that happens in some departments, and one department isn't charged back the cost of that department. As an example, just one example, the sheriff's department stores the the helicopter at the airport. The airport supplies gas for it, and they may not bill them back for it. It may come out of the airport budget, which skews the 2 budgets a little bit. They may not charge for the storage in the hangar space, which may skew the budget a little bit. It shows a higher expense for the airport operation than what it would be if they rented that space to some other person with an airplane. They also recommended improved controls over purchasing and to establish better procedures for following up on federal and state reimbursements to make sure that they get everything that they should be getting. They don't get it timely at the present time because maybe the snow and ice control that's done this year, they won't get the money until next year. And to develop maybe a little better plan to be able to track that. They found that the average pay per employee, top to bottom, was $14 an hour, and with benefits was $23 per hour. They did not find that that was excessive as far as the $14 per hour, but it's not in line with what industry pays as far as the $23 per hour. They proposed that the county attempt to work with representatives, unions, in an attempt to go from a 35-hour work week and shoot for a 40-hour work week. That would not, you would have the same rate of pay. It would cost more for 40 hours than 35, but your benefits would not increase. They found that The 12 sick days that are allocated county employees may be high in relation to industry. And the low health care contribution county employees are making as compared to industry. When I say industry, I mean non-private, non-county, non-public. Department consolidation from 26 to 10. Centralize, have a centralized purchasing department and purchase more bulk than individual departments. And as I said, refine their financial management. And that's in a nutshell what it says in there, but there is supposed to be those copies of those available, probably in Oswego, but there will be one here if you don't already have it. It's a little, about that thick, about a 1/4 inch thick. It's a well done study.
In the paper they said about hiring out through contractors, I believe something, giving up some of their duties and hire contractors. Did they list any of them, or were they specific about what they were looking for?
They did say some of the things that the county, in the mission it would say what, they did a study of some, like a survey, and some people said that they should do like whatever is mandated. There were those people that said they should do whatever they can do for the people that is within reason, which was almost everything. There was some people that said that. They did say that in some areas there was a question whether they should be in them or whether they shouldn't be in them. And there was another list of areas that they didn't think they should even be involved in. One of those areas was competing with private industry, that they should not be competing with private industry. Is that what you asked, I think, right? Yeah.
I happened to attend that, and I'll tell you, I thought the document was very well prepared, as Mr. Chesbrough said, and I highly recommend that, as he also mentioned, there will be copies, or they said there'll be copies here, pick it up and read it. But to get to what you were saying, Greg, as Mr. Chesbrough said, they said it's critical that the county define what its mission is. You know, decide what it wants to do, and then everything should be geared to that. And what they tried to do was make some examples, and as he mentioned, areas that they don't feel fall under the purview of the county could be better handled by private industry. And I think the paper, you know, what the paper does is they pick out maybe the most controversial one, but there were several. I think a couple that were mentioned was payroll handling. Maybe they should contract out that, you know, is it better? But they didn't make any firm recommendations. They just made suggestions that those are things to look at. It's a very well done document. I was very impressed by the presentation they made. It was just, you know, you had, the chairman of Nestle was one of the gentlemen, the chairman of Alcan was one of the gentlemen. They did an excellent job. And I highly recommend that rather than read a 2-paragraph synopsis in the paper, pick up the documents yourselves. You can read it in 20 minutes to a half hour, and I thought it's very clear, and I think it's one of the most progressive steps the county's taken in a long time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, 21st, Paul. March 21st at 5 p.m. at the Legislative Chambers in Oswego. Next Thursday, the group will be presenting this same program that we have heard again for the public. And anybody that wants to go hear it outright, or other than just sitting and reading it. And it was quite a group that compiled this. It was 15 business people from all over the county, all different construction, like he said, Nestle's, Elcan,
Joanne Swinton that runs a machine shop in Phoenix.
Twin Mills Lumber. It was
Joe Wiedenbeck that owns the gas station in Central Square.
a vast array of a lot of education, a lot of business smarts. They've done an awfully good job, and all we got to do is hope we can bring some of it into play.
What time was that?
5 p.m.
Where?
County Legislative Building.
In Oswego?
Yep, 4th floor.
Vern?
I have a couple of questions. Have we received the transcript from the court proceedings in January?
The board has not received them. Our attorney has just received them within the last few weeks, and he is currently using them in order to prepare his answers that he has to.
They had 30 days from the time they got it.
From the time that the attorney got it, the attorney had 30 days to prepare his closing arguments or study or whatever you want to call it, and
Said they
he
were
just.
very late in getting it to me. Also, I have a question on the airport. I brought this up before, but I've been talking to some people that are involved at the airport, and because I was concerned there was so many buildings going up over there, and I was curious as to whether buildings belong to the county or if they were private individuals, because there are none that are assessed on the airport. And I understand there are leases, many leases been given out, and many moneyed private individuals are building those buildings over there. Have built them and are in the process of building. And I don't know what I need to do other than start a protest over there in front of the airport, but someone has got to look into this. There is so much land being used by the county, and I understand this has to be done in some areas, but I do think that where a building belongs to a private individual over there on leased land from the county, that those buildings should be assessed just as my home is assessed for me.
I don't think I'm the right person to answer your questions. There are some buildings over there that I think are leased. Maybe, well, I guess the main hangar is leased to a person that repairs planes in there. I don't know that they sell planes, but they think they repair them. There are some hangars out to the south.
A row of them back there.
There's 6 or 8 there that I'm not sure if they're privately owned or not.
Privately owned buildings
Leased
on
land.
leased land from the county.
As far as assessing, I think that you probably have to talk to your assessor about the assessment.
I have.
Okay. There's one over on the far side that an experimental aircraft group has. I think they're there probably on a lease basis. There's the lands that the county buildings are on. It's all in that same area. In the front, there's 2 buildings there, and that came up today in the legislature. Some years ago, like about 10, the Power Authority made an agreement with the county, I guess bought